The Neighbor Who Fought Back, a tale of revenge and redemption. I'd only been living in the peaceful suburb of Willow Creek for 3 months when trouble moved in next door. My name is Thomas Reed, a 54-year-old cybersecurity consultant who works from home. A stable internet connection is my lifeline, so I chose this quiet neighborhood for its modern infrastructure and serene vibe. What I didn't anticipate was the arrival of the Clarkson family. Eleanor, a 55-year-old part-time real estate agent with a sharp tongue, and her 22-year-old son, Dylan, a jobless gamer with a temper that could shake the walls. Their entitled attitudes and blatant prejudice would soon spark a battle I never saw coming, one that would test my patience and unleash a calculated plan to turn their world upside down. It all started innocently enough. Eleanor introduced herself with a smile that felt more like a grimace, probing into my finances and hinting I didn't belong in such a nice neighborhood. Dylan, on the other hand, was a walking stereotype of laziness, spending his days screaming at his gaming console in a room that shared a wall with my office. His outbursts laced with racial slurs and profanity echoed through my workspace. When I politely asked Eleanor to address the noise, her demeanor flipped. "My Dylan's just passionate," she snapped. "Maybe if you had a real job, you wouldn't be so sensitive." Dylan smirked behind her, suggesting I buy noise-canceling headphones for normal house sounds. Their condescension lit a fuse, but I'm not one to react rashly. I knew their true colors would reveal themselves in time. The breaking point came during a critical virtual presentation to corporate clients. As I pitched a new security protocol, Dylan's meltdown over a gaming loss complete with slurs and the sound of a thrown controller blasted through my call. My clients' faces froze in shock. One even asked if I was safe. The meeting collapsed, costing me a $120,000 contract. That night, staring at the wall separating my peace from their chaos, I decided enough was enough. Eleanor and Dylan had crossed a line, treating me as less than equal because of my race. I wasn't just going to fight back, I was going to outsmart them. I began by researching our neighborhood's internet grid. Our block shared a single fiber optic trunk line, meaning one household's overuse could choke everyone else's bandwidth. Dylan's gaming and streaming hogged resources, slowing my connection during work hours. I also documented their violations, noise complaints, Dylan's toxic online behavior, and Eleanor's thinly veiled racist remarks during her morning gossip sessions with neighbors. She'd complain about certain people lowering property values, her eyes darting toward my house. Armed with this knowledge, I upgraded my internet with enterprise-grade equipment, installing a router that could prioritize my bandwidth. It was legal, efficient, and about to make Dylan's gaming life miserable. The first signs of trouble hit Dylan on a Tuesday morning. His matches lagged, his streams dropped, and his rankings tanked. His frustration echoed through our shared wall, a symphony of curses and smashed controllers. Eleanor noticed that by day 3, she was pacing her backyard with her phone, desperate for a signal. "Mom, this is ruining my brand," Dylan wailed, as if his dozen viewers constituted a career. Eleanor stormed to my door, her face red with rage. "Thomas, your fancy equipment is stealing our internet. Fix it now." I smiled calmly, suggesting they update their outdated router. "Older systems struggle with modern networks," I said, watching her bristle at the word older. Dylan, headset dangling, scoffed. "My setup's fine, man. You're just jealous we belong here." Their entitlement was breathtaking, but I held my ground, knowing their premium $200 a month plan was no match for my optimized system. Eleanor escalated, calling the internet provider daily, accusing me of illegal interference. The reps, familiar with her tirades, explained fiber optics don't work that way, but she insisted I was stealing their service. Dylan, meanwhile, spun conspiracy theories online, claiming I was targeting him because of his racy, laughable projection from someone who'd never worked a day in his life. Eleanor took her campaign door to door, warning neighbors about the disruptive newcomer. But her coded racism backfired. Neighbors like Mrs. Lynn and Mr. Gomez, fed up with her past complaints about ethnic parties or cultural disruptions, shared her remarks with me. The neighborhood was turning against her. The real blow came when I targeted Eleanor's career. Her part-time job at Horizon Realty was a source of pride, but its discriminatory practices were an open secret. Posing as a wealthy client, I booked a viewing with her, recording as she steered me away from upscale areas, citing strict community standards and cultural fit. Her words dripped with prejudice, oblivious to my phone capturing every syllable. She even referenced our dispute, complaining about a troublesome neighbor who didn't belong. I compiled this with other clients' stories minorities she discouraged from certain neighborhood and sent a detailed complaint to Horizon Realty, the state licensing board, and fair housing advocates. Within days, Eleanor was on administrative leave. Horizon's diversity officer, horrified by her recorded remarks, saw her as a liability. 3 days later, she was fired, her real estate license suspended. Her rants became a case study in the company's anti-discrimination training, a humiliating legacy. She showed up at my door, trembling with fury. "You ruined my life," she screamed. Dylan, lurking behind, muttered, "Everything was fine before you." I replied coolly, "Your words and actions did this, Eleanor." Their world was crumbling, and I hadn't lifted a finger beyond exposing their truth. With Eleanor's income gone, their finances collapsed. They downgraded their internet, rendering Dylan's gaming setup useless. His streams failed, his tantrums grew louder, and their utility bills went unpaid. Eleanor tried selling jewelry and knockoff handbags online, but the money wasn't enough. The Homeowners Association, led by David Park, a retired engineer, noted their unpaid fees and noise violations. Neighbors, now openly hostile, documented Dylan's online harassment and Eleanor's past slights. The Clarksons were pariahs. Desperate, Eleanor decided to sell their house. Her for-sale-by-owner attempt was a disaster: poor photos, inflated pricing, and a description hinting at preserving neighborhood character. Buyers sensed distress, offering lowball bids that insulted her pride. Her public record of discrimination scared off agents, and her reputation tanked the property's value. That's when I struck. I called, posing as an investor interested in a private sale. Eleanor's voice wavered with suspicion, but her desperation won out. At our meeting, I offered a fair cash deal with one condition: a clause acknowledging their noise violations and disputes as disclosed issues. It was legal, binding, and a gut punch to their ego. Eleanor signed, her hands shaking. Dylan exploded, "You can't sell to him. He ruined us." But the deal was done. I became their landlord, a final twist of the knife. They moved out within weeks, renting a cramped apartment far from Willow Creek. The neighborhood breathed a sigh of relief, hosting barbecues that celebrated their departure. I rented the house to a young family who fit the community's true spirit: kind, respectful, and diverse. The Clarksons' downfall was their own doing. Eleanor's racism and Dylan's entitlement built a house of cards that collapsed under scrutiny. I didn't break the law or stoop to their level. I used knowledge, patience, and their weaknesses to deliver justice. Willow Creek is peaceful now, and my internet runs like a dream. What do you think about this story? Have you faced prejudice or injustice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe in fighting back with strategy, or should conflicts be resolved another way? Let's hear your stance and keep this conversation going.